Students, we are going to start out Chapter 5 with our vocabulary builder. Remember, keep in mind it is important for you to make flashcards with the key vocabulary that is going to be presented in this lesson. It will help you a lot with your understanding of different terminology when it comes to division. Division sometimes can be confusing because all the different key vocabulary terms start with the letter D, but if you do commit to making yourself flashcards, one side saying the vocabulary word and on the opposite side an example or a definition, I do believe that you'll find that helpful for you. So we're going to start out with our vocabulary builder where it says visualize it. Complete the bubble map using review words. So when we think of the word decimal, boys and girls, what are different things that we think of in this review word area? So we use the word decimal already, so we can't use the word decimal. But I think another word we could use is decimal point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down decimal point. So another key word related to decimal point would be tenth. Because we know when we hear the word tenth, we're talking about something like that is the value of a dime, or in decimal form, tenth. And then lastly, if we look on the list, we see that we also have hundredth, so we're going to use that other term here. Hundredth is also related to decimals because it is a decimal place value, and so is tenth. So I'm just going to put that additional information there. Now, boys and girls, we're going to go on to our next part, which is understand vocabulary. And when we start with this, we want to make sure that we read the directions completely so that we can follow through and complete our answers correctly. So it says, complete the sentences using the review words. So boys and girls, a blank is a symbol used to separate the ones place from the tens place in decimal numbers. Well, boys and girls, if we look up at our decimal chart, we know that it is a decimal point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to cross that off my list because I've used that. Now I'm going to go on to the second one, number 2. Numbers that are easily to compute with mental math are called compatible numbers. So I'm going to write down compatible numbers. And I think just for this one, it might be kind of easy and nice to write an example. We know that 1 times 5 is normally 5. A compatible number, we could say 1/10 times 5 would be 5/10. Those are examples of compatible numbers. Number 3, a blank is one of 10 equal parts. Well, we know that there are 10 dimes that fit inside of a dollar, boys and girls, so 1 dime is worth a tenth. We're going to write that down on our list. Next, a number with 1 or more digits to the right of the decimal point is called a decimal. That one's kind of confusing because it's straightforward, but remember, if you have a number where it says 1 and then there's a decimal point and then there's numbers to the right, we would consider this to be a decimal, not a whole number. Number 5, the blank is the number that is to be divided in a division problem. So this is the thing that we're dividing up. This one is called the dividend. And when we're doing long division, boys and girls, the dividend is the number that's in the inside of the division bar. Next, a blank is one of 100 equal parts. Now, boys and girls, we know that there are 100 pennies in a dollar. 1 penny is a hundredth of a dollar. Make sure we cross it off on our list. And then it says you can blank to find a number that is close to the exact amount. We know we use estimates this year to help check the reasonableness of our answer. Now, boys and girls, although we do not use divisor, equivalent fractions, exponent, quotient, or remainder, it still would be a good idea to use our glossary in our textbook, which you can find online on Schoology, and make yourself additional note cards for those as well. Remember, boys and girls, using yourself with flashcards, you can help prepare yourself for understanding diverse and sometimes complicated content vocabulary that is going to be used throughout Chapter 5.